All right, back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing yet another beer from the new Glarus Brewing Company, and they're out of New Glarus, Wisconsin. And this is their Serendipity, and this is a part of their Thumprint series. So on the label, they're calling this a Happy Accident Fruit Ale. What it is a fruited sour ale that is brewed with apples, cranberries, and cherries. Comes in at 4% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. I don't know how old this bottle is, and that's because this bottle was given to me by a good friend of mine and fellow beer tuber, Kyle, over at No Hype Beer Review. So thank you very much, Kyle, for this bottle. I'll post a link in the description box to Kyle's channel. Great dude, great content, just overall outstanding individual. And he actually gave this one to me at the 2019 East Coast Beer Tuber Palooza that took place at Matt over at Massive Beer Reviews house. And he actually hooked me up with strawberry rhubarb from them, which I've already reviewed. And I had no idea he was going to hook me up with this one. It was a pleasant surprise. A bunch of people threw beers in my cooler, and Kyle threw strawberry rhubarb and this one. So here we are, Serendipity. Good times, should be. Anyway, on the side here, they have a little spiel talking about how this beer came to be. Basically, there was an issue with the cherry crop. It failed quite a bit, so they grabbed as many cherries as they could, but the apple crop did much better. So instead of this being like a cherry ale, they ended up brewing an apple, cranberry, and cherry fruited sour, and here we are. You know, I've had the strawberry rhubarb, amazing beer. I've had their raspberry tart, courtesy of Jeff, aka No Jinx. Awesome beer. I've had their Wisconsin Belgian Red, which I will be reviewing soon because Jeff hooked me up because he's an awesome dude. But I've had that one a couple years ago. Awesome beer. When it comes to New Glarus, they know what they're doing with fruit beers. They do. I have never had this one before, and I'm just going to crack it open. We're going to get into it. So anyway, yeah, I'm pumped for this one. I imagine it's still going to be quite tasty. Yeah, I can't believe, honestly, how good the fruit beers from New Glarus are. Let's give it a pour. Ooh, that is like this. So really, you know what this is looking like? An oud brew. So it's looking like to me right off the get-go. Probably all those different fruits producing this crazy color. You got the apples, cranberries, cherries. So yeah, that pours out this like really like deep rust color in person. On camera, it's probably be a bit darker, like maybe like a dark brown or something like that. But it has like a rust color. It's pretty cloudy in there, pretty hazy, murky, but I can see a little bit through it at the bottom. Has about a half finger of this straight on tan or like darker cream colored head, looking quite creamy, but that looks cool. And that looks like a beer that has a lot of fruit in it. So let's get a nose. Yeah, first thing I get is, so I haven't reviewed Wisconsin Belgian Red. I haven't done that. It's going to be coming. Like I said, Jeff sent me one, he sent me one in a beer mail recently, but I had that one a couple years ago. And the Luden cough drops, you remember those Luden cough drops you'd have as a kid? And they might even still be around now. I haven't bought them probably 25, 30 years. But when I was a kid, I used to take those because they tasted like candy. They didn't have the menthol that like the Halls have or like the better ones have. It just was kind of like a cherry candy of some sort. And that's what I'm kind of getting in the nose here. It has that Luden cough drop, the cherry cough drop aroma, but that might sound bad because you're like, wow, that sounds like it's medicinal. No, it just has that specific cherry character from those cough drops. It smells more candy-like than medicinal. My memory is saying this is Luden cough drops. Yeah, it smells like Luden cough drops. Oh my God, it smells so good. And now I'm getting like more of like a red apple skin, like closer to the skin of the apple. Like, a lot of times I like to say red apple core, like when I'm drinking, say like a Pilsner or Kolsch or something. This is more red apple skin. Yeah, it has quite a sweet nose to it, not really fruity at all. I mean, sour, it's definitely fruity. A little bit of like a tart cranberry. Like I said, this doesn't have big sour components, slight tart cranberry on the nose. Man, that cherry is hard to overcome. It just, even though they say the cherry crop failed and they had to go with the apples and cranberries in addition to cherries. Cherries are the predominant note in the nose. It's hard to get by that. It smells awesome. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody, and thank you very much, Kyle. What the fuck? I'm going to lose my mind drinking these New Glarus beers. First thing I will say, this is the fourth New Glarus beer I've had as far as their fruit beers are going. I've had the Wisconsin Belgian Red, the raspberry tart, and the strawberry rhubarb. And this is the most tart. This isn't sour, but it has a really nice high tartness to it. And I could notice it. Is that a fruit fly? why would beer? Fruit fly. Get away from the fruit. I know it's fruit, but 7 I drank it and it had a little bit of tartness, but as soon as it hit the back of my jaw, had like a nice sour, puckering sourness to it, but I'm already acclimated to it after a couple sips. So yeah, overall light tartness, maybe I should say higher tartness, lower sourness in the taste. Tons of cherries. It's not as much of a Luden cough drop cherry flavor as was in the nose. It's more of an authentic tart cherry. I'd like to say tart cherry juice whenever I'm drinking like a cherry sour of some sort. I still try to drink tart cherry juice as much as I can. It's good anti-inflammatory for the body. It is expensive, but this has that quality to it from the cherry aspect. Sweeter red apple, like a red apple skin. Like I said, closer to the skin as opposed to the core. Slight cranberry note in here, not as big as the other two. The one thing I love about these beers is the body and mouthfeel for a 4% beer are some of the best I've ever had, sub 5%. This is like medium body as far as the 4% body on this one goes, and that's crazy to get like a medium body out of 4% beer. And the mouthfeel, it's crisp, it's effervescent, but it has a nice soft smoothness to it. It's not creamy or anything, but it's not just like, oh, here's carbonation, that's it. It has like a complexity to the mouthfeel. You get all three of those fruits, cherry, apple, cranberry. Like I said, a higher tartness, low sourness. It finishes semi-dry, little bit of residual sweetness. This is a sweeter fruit beer, but it doesn't approach the strawberry rhubarb or the raspberry tart. And like I said, Wisconsin Belgian Red, I don't remember it being overly sweet, but when I review that one, I guess I'll have it for comparison's sake. But this one just has a nice dryness on the back end, along with a residual sweetness that it dries it out enough, but there's enough residual sugars there where it doesn't completely dry out your palate. And that's what I like about it, is that it's not overly dry, and I'm not a huge fan of overly dry beers. It's not sickly, it's sickly sweet. It's not cloying, but it has a decent sweetness on the back end. The cohesiveness of the fruits is so nice. Cherry leading the way, but followed closely by the apple, and then cranberry in third place. If you like cherry, if you like apple, you would probably love this beer, especially if you're somebody who maybe doesn't love like an excessive tartness or excessive sourness to their beers. This is a very approachable fruited sour, I think, especially if you like any of those fruits or all of them. Yeah, it's another winner. It's another winner from New Glarus. If I'm being totally honest with you, of the 4 that I've had, this is probably my least favorite. But when I'm saying it's my least favorite, goddamn fruit fly, get out of here. I'm going to fight the fruit fly at some point. I'm going to have to get him. I'm grabbing air. But as far as the 4 goes, this is my least favorite of the bunch. But when I say it's least favorite, I'm saying that Serendipity, part of the Thumprint series, I am going from New Glarus, 4.5 out of 5. That's what I mean by least favorite. It's still an amazing beer. It's still like a world-class fruit beer as far as an American brewed fruit beer goes. They just nail it out of the park. They're 4 for 4 in my books. This is my least favorite of the bunch, but it's still an amazing beer. And if you've never tried any New Glarus beers and you're anywhere close to Wisconsin, or you know somebody in Wisconsin, or you can trade for it, get your hands on all of them. They're just so delicious, so tasty. And I mentioned this in a strawberry rhubarb review, but if I lived anywhere close to Wisconsin, or I lived in Wisconsin, I'd have a dedicated beer fridge to all of their fruit beers. That's how good they are. I'd have multiple 4-packs of them everywhere. Speaking of which, price and availability, Kyle, let me know if you know what the price point on this, but if there's anybody who has purchased these before, whether you live in Wisconsin, whether you pass through Wisconsin, whether you trade for it, whatever, let me know what the price and availability. Because I remember a couple people talking about like the 4-packs of these are like 10 to 12 bucks. 10 to 12 bucks. I know they're 4%, but the complexity of these beers, how much fruit they're using, how tasty they are, I would just have cases upon cases in my fridge if I could. And as far as I know, these are like shelfies. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them you can just pick up, bottle shops or whatever. And if that was the case, like I said, I'd have so many bottles of this in my fridge, it would be stupid, because these are perfect for really any occasion. I could drink this in the middle of summer, middle of winter, doesn't matter. They're just a great, tasty beer. So Serendipity Thumprint series from New Glarus, 4.5 out of 5. I want to thank Kyle once again for hooking me up, not only strawberry rhubarb, but this one. I do appreciate it, good sir. Awesome to try New Glarus beers. I want to try more, but I don't know anybody in Wisconsin, so maybe I'll have to make a trip to Wisconsin and pick some up at some point. But yeah, anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by. 4%. Drinks like, this doesn't even drink like alcohol in a lot of respects. This drinks like just like a fruit drink, but There's definitely alcohol in here, and you know it's beer, but that's pretty much where it ends. But yeah, I want to ramble forever because I just want to show love to New Glarus, but you got to end it at some point. I'm going to end it now. So once again, thanks Kyle. Thanks to everybody. Till the next one. Cheers.